morning. Good morning. Okay. Hope you are having an amazing morning. I want you to show up. I want you to lean in. I want you to open up your mind, open up your heart, welcome in this message, and set you are hoping to get out of just the next, 20, 25 minutes or so. Okay. And I want you, use all of your senses to tap into what we're about to do right now. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret first. Secret of mine and what I used to believe. Okay. I used to believe, like a whole lifetime ago, that there was either faith or science. There couldn't be both. Okay. What I'm going to share with you, and if you've been hanging out with me, you've heard me talk about another secret, or should I say not so secret? Okay. I remember my whole lifetime ago when I felt like I couldn't have both. And I really felt like I was in this it was like this pull of, well, this makes sense, but so does this. But I didn't think I could have both. I didn't think I could believe both. I thought that I could only believe, and there was a while where I chose to only believe in things that I could see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. If I couldn't see it, if you couldn't prove it to me, it didn't exist. Was I wrong? Wrong. And I remember the very first time that I was exposed to The Secret, like the movie, right? In a high school when it was first released. And I remember coming home from school one day and my mom was watching it on Oprah. And all of the doctors and the physicists and philosophers and the people that were in The Secret were on there, and they were talking about this. And I remember watching it and thinking, gosh, that's such a cool concept. It is a cool concept, right? Little did I realize that this cool little concept, this secret, was actually running my life, and it's running all of our lives, right? So if I'm going to relate it back to you, okay, and help it resonate with you, I want to ask you a question. And I want you to really ask yourself, do you ever, or have you ever, looked at another person and their circumstance and thought, gosh, they're just lucky. Like everything just seems to work out for them. The universe is always just, making things line up so that it works out perfectly for them. Like when someone is like in the right place at the right time, right? Or if you're in sales, maybe someone else on your team ends up getting like this huge sale and has like $10,000 in commission. Or you see someone that is kind of on this downward spiral, and then they end up teaming up with the right person, and then before you know it, they're a millionaire. Or they get a thought for a book and it just seems like such luck. Like, why didn't I get that idea? Right? And then you kind of look at your own life and your own circumstances and you wish you had that luck, that you didn't have to work so hard for everything that you have. You wonder why. How can they take something that they're passionate about and something that they're good at and make it their own and make millions of dollars off of it? There's no way that I could get that lucky. There's no way that I could do something that I love and become a millionaire, right? And so we retreat. Everyone has this inner dialogue we've tried to convince ourselves of this, like time after time after time after time. Fact is, though, is it's not true. You can be someone who's always getting lucky and has, the universe conspiring for you all the time, working with you and putting all the best circumstances that seem to make your life easier and more fun and bring more joy, right? The thing is that this secret is not luck, it's science. There is a science to success. And we've talked about programming before. So like everything that we believe, right? Everything that is in our subconscious, we were programmed with those thoughts, or we watched somebody do something, and that is what's in our subconscious, right? So we were programmed with this notion of luck. If you're Irish, there's even more of it in you. Just another one of those beliefs. It's not true. Fact is, we live in a very orderly universe. It is governed by very clear laws. They are the laws that get spaceships to the moon. They keep planes in the air. They keep us glued to the ground so we're not floating all over the place, right? We know we are all energy. Science has showed us this. There's cameras that can take pictures of the energy flowing to and through and off of us, right? Our bodies, our meat sticks that we live in, are just a mass amount of molecules vibrating at a high rate. Okay? We are all energy. And we have this same energy flowing to and through us. So the truth is, the universe doesn't actually play favorites, ever. We all have access to the exact same things. But when it comes to success and getting to these higher levels of achievement, there's kind of an unspoken but pretty popular belief that we must move kind of in an orderly, systematic fashion from just one step to the next step. And it has to go like this, which is why we even talk about climbing a ladder, right? Small gains, one at a time, one step at a time. And this is why, as a society, we get stoked about our 2% raise that was negotiated this year. And maybe next year we'll get a 3%, right? Maybe the next year, 3.5%. Woo. And we think that's awesome because that's the way we're programmed. What if we were programmed to think that a 50, 100, 200% increase was the normal? But we aren't. I say that and you're like, delete. You think it's crazy. And I talk to people every single day that they're like, what? I can't even wrap my head around that. But because we can't wrap our heads around it, as a result, most people expect just this gradual progression year after year after year. And they're satisfied with getting small raises each year. And then this is their definition of success. They're excited when they can buy, the newest model of the same car that they've owned for the last 10 years. That's what excites them, not doing something completely different. And they look forward to climbing the next kind of rung on the corporate ladder. I get it. I've been there. I was an excellent corporate ladder climber, right? And my thought process when I first started climbing the corporate ladder, when I decided, okay, first I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do this. And this one I don't really love, but that's okay because it's going to lead to this. And then to this. And then to this. Right? And then I had my ultimate goal of what I was going to do. It wasn't until the day that I really looked at that goal and I was like, oh my gosh, like I actually don't think I'm going to like that job. I like the sounds of that job. I was going to be the CEO of a hospital, by the way. That was my goal. Then I realized I don't really like politics. And I like to say and be authentic all the time. And you can't always do that in boardroom, can you? Not without it being not well received. So I knew I had to do something different, right? So heads up, if you despise the job that you're in, what's happening is that you are in conflict with your actual purpose. And that's another topic for another time. Okay, you are not meant to not love your work that you do. In fact, you are given all of the strengths and abilities and experiences and everything that you've ever had to lead you to how you can show up in your purpose. But none of us think it's possible. So we settle. There is a science to success. What if instead of progressing just one step at a time, you could move from where you're at right now? Instead of going here, you went here. And then you went here. Right? What would that look like? And you did it directly. What if you could become what many people consider lucky? What if you could do that? But before this happens, there's a few things that you want to understand about these lucky people. Okay, Napoleon Hill says, getting rich isn't about doing certain things, it's about doing things in a certain way. So what is your way in comparison to these lucky people, right? What I can tell you about them is a few things. They use their intuition. They trust themselves to make successful decisions. And if they get it wrong, they choose another approach. They don't hang out in that space. They keep things moving constantly. Okay? They treat their failures as opportunity, as an opportunity to learn and to grow. And they view this life as a pure learning experience. It's not about getting to the destination, it's about the journey. Lucky people, I'm going to keep doing this because they don't exist. They see everything that they come in contact with as a lesson, every single thing. They're grateful. They're grateful for what they have now, and they understand that if you are in the habit of feeling and expressing gratitude, that you will get more of it, more of whatever you seek, and it puts you in a higher vibration. They take action. They are moving towards their goals every single day. Lucky people, they understand that their dreams and their desires don't come true simply by wishing for them. They're not looking for lucky stars. They're not waiting for 11:11. They're taking action. They don't wait around for things to work out for them. They do what's necessary to move from where they are to where they want to be. They know where they are and they know where they want to be. And they have really positive beliefs and high expectations. They believe they can do whatever they put their mind to. And they persist regardless of what's happening, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the haters, until they reach the finish line. And they keep going, right? They are in the habit of growing every single day, and they understand that what is happening for them isn't luck. There is a very clear science. In fact, it's quantum physics. That word alone, words, I was like, what? You lost me at quantum physics. Then I read U². So I'm going to read part of it for you guys on quantum leaps so that we're on the same page, literally, okay? So it says quantum leaps, so going from here to here, not deep, 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 deep. Quantum leaps is a term taken from the vocabulary of the new physics, quantum physics. It's the science behind such technological breakthroughs as lasers, televisions, computers, space communication, and nuclear energy. Quantum physics is described as the most powerful science ever conceived by human beings. It requires a major rethinking of such concepts as time and space and how human consciousness operates. Quantum physics also has staggering implications regarding you, your potential, and the power of your mind. To put it simply, as human beings, we are going to have to reframe our ideas about the universe and how we fit into it. Fred Alan Wolf has an award-winning book titled Taking the Quantum Leap. And he describes the term as the explosive jump that a particle of matter undergoes in moving from one place to another. In a figurative sense, taking the quantum leap means taking a risk, going off into an uncharted territory with no guide to follow. Physicists studying quantum mechanics note that particles make the jump without an apparent effort and without covering all of the bases between the starting and the end point. So what's going on here? How does this happen? And is it possible for you as an individual to do something very similar with your personal performance? So when we are looking on a cellular level at molecules, we see, or at particles, right? They're seeing them make these jumps from here to here. No ladders. Not that. No sequence. They're jumping from here to here without apparent effort. What if you could do that? Not if, you can. Understanding this is powerful, and you don't need to be a physicist. Just understand that your life can be everything you want it to be when you work with the laws of the universe instead of fighting against them. You can make a quantum leap. I challenge you to think of the points even that I gave you about lucky people. Lucky people. And live them. Really think like whether these are really lucky attributes or if they are part of a systematic scientific process, better known as a law. Everything in my life and yours, from the level of success we have to the amount of money that flows into our lives, to the relationships that we have, to the jobs that we have, to the way we look, to the way we feel, to where we're vibrating, everything is governed by universal laws. The most important law is the one that's most called the law of cause and effect, the karmic law. You sow what you reap. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. We hear these, right? We know these. These laws are proven and they're discovered through the same scientific processes where you develop a theory and then you research and you investigate, right? And then when the theory is proven correct, after lots of experiments and right where you've taken facts and you've proven them to be true, right? That's when you can say this is scientifically proven. This law, scientifically proven. Okay? The experiments continue and are proven constantly. Okay? This law has been proven over and over and over and over. It's not a secret. The law of cause and effect is actually quite simple. So the thoughts, feelings, and actions that you express in your life are like seeds that you plant in this infinite medium space. And this space is everywhere at all times. Okay, this is where we have to start rethinking. Like it says in the book, we have to start rethinking how, like, such concepts as time and space and how human consciousness operates. Okay, so you have these seeds that you plant through your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. The conditions, which are the circumstances and the things that come into your life, are the harvest from that, the seeds that you sow. This is why I say always be very clear with your intentions. That's why I have you set an intention before we start these conversations. If you want carrots, but you plant cucumber seeds, you end up harvesting a vegetable that you don't want. Yes? And I use the pizza analogy. I'm not going to call the pizza place and say I want food. I'm not going to talk about the things I don't want on my pizza. And yet, how many times a day do you or anybody that you know talk about what you don't want? Remember that time when the whole world was like over something? Remember when that happened? And everybody talked about it all the freaking time? Do you know how much energy globally we are giving to it? And yet we all talk about how we all want it done and over with? Could you imagine if we didn't do that anymore? Right? If you want to work in harmony with the law, your thoughts and feelings and actions need to align with what you want. So this is where you have to, and it talks about in this book, suspend your disbelief. U squared. Okay? Instead of holding back because you don't have hard proof that you can make a quantum leap, see if you end up with evidence proving you can't. Just make the jump. Act as if your success is guaranteed. And then see which set of ideas you should believe in. Your mindset for the moment may be flawed by doubt and skepticism. The idea of making a quantum leap in your performance, jumping from your present level of achievement to several stages higher in a bold stroke, is an alien idea. You haven't been trained to think this way. You may have definite reservations about the possibility that you can make such exponential improvement at all, particularly with less effort in an abbreviated time frame. The experts generally agree, though, that people typically use only about 10% of their true potential. If we accept that argument, and even if there were no other resources outside yourself that you could bring to bear on the situation, you still could do 10 times as well as you're currently doing. Your skepticism, which you presume is based on rational thinking and an objective assessment of the factual data about yourself, is rooted in mental junk. Your doubts are not the product of accurate thinking, but habitual thinking. Years ago, you accepted flawed conclusions as correct, began to live your life as if those warped ideas about your potential were true, and ceased bold experiment in living that brought you many breakthrough behaviors as a child. Now it's time for you to find that faith you had in yourself before. If you want to be skeptical of some ideas that truly deserve to be called into question, challenge the thoughts and beliefs that have argued against you taking a quantum leap. Put those old inhibituating ideas to the test by going for it with everything you've got. For right now, just suspend disbelief. You don't have to be convinced that you can succeed in making a quantum leap, but don't keep on believing those old ideas you've been carrying around with you about your personal limits. If you will make it easier, hold off for a while on believing anything. Just act like you have complete faith. Merely do what you do if you knew you were going to succeed. Behave like you have total conviction. Doubt is what does the most damage, so don't give it any mental space. Proceed boldly, as if you were completely inconceivable that you will it's completely inconceivable that you will experience anything other than a successful quantum leap. If you must doubt something, doubt your limits. I love that. Behave like you have a total conviction. What if the only thought that you had was, how can I not succeed? What if you actually thought, okay, I've been given this desire, this thought, this opportunity for a reason? What if you thought there's no freaking way that I can't not have it? If you want to jump from your current level of achievement to way up here, it's your thoughts, your feelings, and the actions that you express in life are the seeds that you sow in this very orderly universe. The exact same laws that are getting spaceships to the moon, that are keeping planes in the air. And it said that a spaceship fails its way to the moon. It's off course 90% of the time, just like we might be off course 90% of the time, but it is up to us to keep our eye on the target, the moon, right? Our thought can bring out only a condition or a result that is in line with what we think we can do. So if your thoughts are set on a great achievement, then you're likely to get it. Not likely, not luckily, you will get it. When we use universal laws, such as cause and effect, in our favor, the possibilities of what we can do are limitless. So how lucky do you think you are now? Do you think you're just lucky to get this message? We always reap what we sow. Saying you want a better life is not good enough. If you want more money, for example, getting a 3% raise every year, is that doing it for you? Is that all you want? Because that's what you keep telling the universe that you're stoked about. And yet the person that does the quantum leap is lucky. They're not lucky. They just knew what they wanted. If you want a lot more money, which would be the effect, you need to decide, how much do you want? Then you think of the things that you can do, like the causes, to earn the money. Whatever you want in life, you have to align your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions with what you want. And you'll become just as lucky as anybody else. But not by chance. You'll do it by law. This applies to your health, your relationships, everything. Everything. It's not enough, though, to just listen to me right now, or go to the event, or read the book. I'm with you. I was an expert book reader. I have a whole library of books. I read the books. I went to the seminars. I walked on hot coals with Tony Robbins. I did the things, but I wasn't getting the results because I wasn't aligning my thoughts and my feelings and my actions. It's not enough just to, and I'm stoked that you've been with me this whole time and that you're listening. but that's not enough. This is why I coach people on this. And the trouble you can get into when you're constantly just reading the books and going to the courses is that you're trying to fit yourself in a model that isn't working for you because you haven't reprogrammed your beliefs. That's what it comes down to. Your self-image. You will never outperform it, ever. The program that I coach you through is in the exact proportion to the universal laws. Not only does it teach you about the universal laws, but it is in alignment with it, and it puts you in alignment with it. This is what I want you to truly understand, is the magic power behind your mind and what it means to think into results that you want. So thinking is your cause. The result is your effect, cause and effect. The problem is, like we said here, most people aren't thinking. They're not actually thinking. They think that they're thinking, like on a conscious level. I think that I'm thinking, and I think that I'm being logical. I'm doing all the things, but I'm not getting the results that I want. If your way's not working, how about you come try my way? It's proven science. Can't make it up if I tried. You do not need to do this the hard way. We have paved the way for you to start attracting into your life everything that you've ever wanted. So if you are feeling stuck, like nothing's working for you, I want you to take this message to heart. I want you to understand that this not so secret is real. And I have the shortcut to success right here. So I'm going to link up my calendar, and I want you to book a call. We need to decide, we need to look at where you currently are and where you want to go, and how you skip several rungs in the ladder to make that quantum leap. Not up to us, but I can teach you how to do it because it's so easy. It's so easy. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I have loved this. I am a true science geek. I love all the science behind this. It's so cool. I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome day, you guys. If you have any questions, just post them below.